How did Germany emerge from the defeat in the First World War?
The revolution began with the Kiel Mutiny of late October, which within a week had spread to numerous towns and military bases across Germany. Revolutionary councils in a similar mould to Russian Soviets formed across the nation and began demanding political reform. Most of these demands were socialist or social democratic: an end the war, the abolition of the monarchy, greater democratic representation and economic equality. On November the 7th, the revolution claimed its first royal scalp when Bavarian King Ludwig III fled across the border to Austria. The revolutionary period lasted from November 1918 till the formal establishment of the Weimar Republic in August 1919. Revolutionaries, inspired by communist ideas, failed to hand power to Soviets as the Bolsheviks had in Russia, because the Social Democratic Party of Germany leadership refused to work with those who supported the Bolsheviks. The German Revolution forced the abdication of Kaiser Wilhelm II, ending the Hohenzollern monarchy and plunging Germany into weeks of political struggle and uncertainty. Philipp Scheidemann made a proclamation declaring the beginning of new German Republic. These enemies of the people are finished forever. The Kaiser has abdication. The people have won all of them over in every field, he says. In September 1918, Allied troops broke through the German Hindenburg line on the Western Front. Defeat in the war now looked inevitable. The British blockade of German ports had produced serious food shortages in Germany, and there were many calls for the country to make peace. In October, sailors at the naval base at Wilhelmshaven mutinied, and there was a further mutiny at Kiel when the order was given for one last attack on the British Navy. On 7th of November, Kurt Eisner declared Bavaria to be a socialist republic, and all of Germany's workers and soldiers formed councils similar to the Soviets in Russia.
Opinions changed between defeatism and dreams of victory, depending upon the fortunes of his armies. The Kaiser's support collapsed completely in October-November 1918 in the army, in the civilian government, and in German public opinion. As President Woodrow Wilson made it clear, the Kaiser could no longer be a party to peace negotiations. Wilhelm was at the Imperial Army headquarters in Spa, Belgium, when the uprisings in Berlin and the other centres took him by surprise in 1918. Mutiny in his beloved Kaiserliche Marine, the Imperial Navy, shocked him. After the German Revolution, Wilhelm could not make up his mind whether or not to abdicate. Wilhelm agreed to the abdication only after Wilhelm Groener had informed him that the officers and men of the army would march back in good order under Paul von Hindenburg's command, but would not fight for Wilhelm's throne. The monarchy's last and strongest support had been broken, and finally, even Hindenburg, himself a lifelong royalist, had to, with embarrassment, to advise the emperor to give up his crown. On November 10th, Wilhelm, now Wilhelm Hohenzollern, crossed the border by train and went into exile in the Netherlands, which had remained neutral throughout the war. After the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, Article 227 wanted the prosecution of Wilhelm for supreme offence against international morality and the sanctity of treaties, but Queen Wilhelma refused to extradite him, despite appeals from the Allies.
The Communist Party was formed in 1918. It was put together by Rosa Luxemburg and Liebknecht. After these two leaders were killed, they were taken over by Leo Jogichez and Paul Settley. However, later on they were both murdered. They were influenced to set up the Communist Party by Russia, who were already a communist country in 1918. There was a divided opinion in Germany because the lower class and poor people in Germany wanted a change and wanted more equality throughout Germany. The upper class and middle class people did not want the Communist Party to take over because they would lose all their wealth. Communists tried to seize power by organising riots and strikes in Berlin, but the government ordered whoever was protesting to be shot at sight. There was a lot of support for communists because there were lots of lower class people, as World War I and the Treaty of Versailles left Germany in a horrible state. The communists tried to take over Berlin in the Spartacus revolt, but they were defeated. The communists were also known as the Spartakists, and they were members of the Spartacus League. After the war, the party got about 10 to 15% of the vote. However, in 1956, the Communist Party was banned. The government had people working for them who were anti-communist parliamentary units. Some of these men had fought in the war just gone. These people were known as the Freikorps. The Freikorps were the people who killed Rosa Luxemburg and Liebknecht, who were the leaders of the Communist Party. They were also volunteers, so there were people who did hate communists. These were called nationalists. Later the Freikorps was taken over by the Nazi Party. The government sent out these special armed forces to kill all communists protesting. The people in the Freikorps were strong believers that Germany should not have suffered defeat in World War I. As well as being anti-communist, they were also anti-socialist.